don't you? I mean, seriously, don't you actually talk to him? I would think you would.
Oh, yes. I mean, you know, Hamish is as real to us as he is to Rutledge.
No, I didn't mean that. I meant that you would be talking, it seems to me, to Rutledge almost in the same way that Rutledge talks to Hamish, you know? He's just kind of there, sitting on your shoulder. And
exactly. And in this book, there was no Hamish. This woman was alone, absolutely alone. And every once in a while, you'll see something, and you'll say to yourself, well, now Hamish would note that. And
so it's handy
he wasn't
to have,
there.
you know, actually a dual detective has always been a very good thing in that, you know, they can play off each other, talk to each other. You can do in dialogue things that would be much more difficult, you know, in a narrative, purely narrative voice. So Hamish fulfills, I think, a great function.
But there is a sense, not in a weird way, of, well, you know, I think Rutledge would like that. Or you see something that that would fit with Rutledge. As it's not really a, at least for me, it's not a conscious conversation as much as it is that you'd walk around and say, hey, you know, Barbara would really, you know.
Right, like that. Yeah, we're almost out of time, but the one question I didn't ask you is, who, in the actual writing, do you write together? Do you overwrite each other? Is it consensus or?
It's consensus.
Okay.
Once that first page is done, we both, well, we think alike. My husband's a chemical engineer, so he can remember all sorts of things, but he can't remember characters' names. My daughter's in finance, so she deals with numbers. This was the only person I could talk to.
But which one of you actually puts the words on the page?
Well, the way that works is, and it's all her fault, she started me on old movies when I was 2 o'clock in the morning watching the late show. But it's a scene. Okay, you know what the next scene is. We talked about it. We know where we're headed. And we know what the last scene was. And she was, she actually had to take my sister on an appointment and just took the laptop with her and worked on it while she waited for my sister, and got home, and I can't, sometimes she'll email it to me, sometimes she'll put it on a little flash drive. You know, and then I'll take a look at it and make some changes, or it'll happen the other way around. I may be, well, you were in Providence, and I was
that's true.
at home, and so naturally I was doing some work that I sent to her, and then she went through and.
Well, you've answered my question. It's a back and forth then. I mean, because some writing combinations, somebody does the plotting, the other person does the writing.
Or Emma Latham, where they switch chapters.
Right. And there, I mean, Dave Barry and Ridley Pearson have, you know, talked. It's always fascinating to people how, you know, it seems so difficult to write at all, and even more interesting how you would do it.
Well, T.J. Parrish, for example, everything's all worked out in the sticky notes and the cutouts from the magazines to give them a picture of what the characters look like, you know.
Well, that's their
that's what works for them.
Sure. You know, bottom line is there is no right way to do it. It's just the way that works for both of you. Well, thank you very much. In fact, we've had that same kind of conversation here today. I really appreciate your coming and talking to me.
It was such a pleasure.
It really has been. And I want to thank all of you for joining us today.